Beat 2. Threat mode. Beat 2 is threat mode, the moment your brain trades curiosity for certainty. Amygdala dominance downshifts the prefrontal cortex, so planning, sequencing, and nuance shrink. You'll feel narrower, faster, and oddly competent at tasks that look like progress but don't move the work. Now here's the trap. It feels productive because control behaviors deliver immediate relief. That relief tricks your brain into thinking you advanced. You didn't. You just quieted the alarm. What does threat mode push you toward? 3 classics. Over-research, 20 tabs open to be thorough, but you're collecting, not deciding. Excessive rehearsal, running the opener again and again, chasing certainty instead of clarity. Scope creep, adding charts, examples, or sections just in case. All 3 share one signature: more input, fewer decisions. Movement without change. We're not going to argue with feelings. We're going to root around them with structure your nervous system can obey. Threat mode loves rules, so give it rules that ship. Start with 1 breath to buy cognitive airtime, a single physiological sigh, or 1 box breathing round. Then set a micro game you can win in 5 minutes. Say out loud, for the next 10 minutes, progress beats protection. That's your temporary operating system. Here's the protocol I want you to run inside threat mode. D3, decide, draft, deliver. Decide the single decision this block will make. Not a topic to explore, a decision to close. Choose the opening claim, not research the intro. Draft exactly 3 bullets or 1 ugly paragraph that embodies that decision. Deliver it to a visible next state. Paste into the real doc, add V1 to the title, or self-email it. The delivery matters. It marks stage advanced, which calms the alarm more than endless polishing. Cap options so your brain can't sprawl. Use 5-3-1, 5-minute timer, 3 options max, 1 provisional pick. If your brain says, but what if I choose wrong? Reframe to reversibility. You're choosing a provisional V1 for iteration, not a permanent verdict. You're opening a door, not welding it shut. Scope boxes kill the just-in-case impulse. Before you start typing, declare ingredients: 3 bullets only, 1 chart, no more, 2 examples, no bonus. If you want to add a 4th bullet, you delete 1 first. The trade forces priority. Priority is where progress lives. Sequence beats perfection. Install 2 simple gates and tape them above your monitor. Gate 1, clarity claim chosen, 3 supports written. Gate 2, polish, phrasing, and visuals only after Gate 1 is checked. If Gate 1 isn't checked, fonts and colors are off limits. That single rule removes the decision to resist polish. You just follow the order. Let me show you the flip in action. A product lead felt the surge and started pulling last quarter decks, competitor screenshots, and 3 alternate intros. We dropped to low exposure format, plain text only, and ran 5-3-1. 5 minutes, 3 possible opening claims, 1 pick. Then D3, 3 bullets, paste into the live spec, label V1. 10 minutes later, the team had something concrete to react to. The urge to control eased because direction existed. Language helps steer the state. Swap make it perfect for make it legible. Swap prove it for prototype it. Swap what if they hate it for what will I iterate after V1? You're not lowering standards, you're sequencing them. Common mistakes in threat mode. Arguing with sensations. I shouldn't feel this. That's gasoline. Label, normalize, move. Moving goalposts. New outline, new template, new scope. That's the glue that keeps the cycle stuck. Soft timers. About 5 minutes equals loop permission. Use a visible bell and stop at the ring. Mixing visibility with performance. Working in slides invites polish. Drop to plain text. Same clarity, less spotlight. 2 more levers. Visibility floors. Commit to the smallest visible move that advances the stage. V1 label, self-send, move to drafts folder. Visibility signals safety. And checklist gating. You literally can't touch polish until claim plus 3 supports is checked. Sequence removes willpower. Run a live rep with me right now on your top task. 1 physiological sigh. Permission line, progress beats protection for 10 minutes. Start a 5-minute timer, decide the single decision. Cap to 3 options, 1 sentence each, pick 1, draft 3 bullets. Deliver to the real doc and add V1 to the title. Bell rings, hands up. If your brain screams, it's not good, answer, it's good enough to improve. Improvement requires existence. If you're mid-meeting and threat mode hits, use lanes to narrow. 1 quiet breath under the table. Then ask, are we optimizing for clarity or polish right now? If they say clarity, capture structure notes only and defer taste to V3. If someone pushes aesthetics early, park it. Great for V3, today we're locking the argument. You just shifted the room out of performance and into decisions. One last micro story. A team kept spinning on an exec memo opener. Threat mode had them rehearsing sentences for 30 minutes. We ran D3 with a 5-3-1 frame. 5 minutes, 3 claim verbs, pause, pivot, double down, 1 pick. 3 bullets, paste, V1 label. The exec reacted in 5 minutes because there was finally something to react to. Relief stopped being the goal, resolution did. If you remember nothing else about Beat 2, remember this. Threat mode loves rules. Give it rules that ship, breath, 5-3-1, D3, gates, and you'll move differently inside the same feeling. We're not waiting to feel brave. We're making decisions tiny, visible, and reversible so progress beats protection on schedule. The 4-beat loop, Beat 3, control behaviors. Beat 3 is where protection starts wearing a productivity costume. On the surface, it looks like diligence, tightening phrasing, hunting the perfect stat, adding just-in-case slides. Underneath, it's anxiety management. The relief is real, but it's rented. You pay at the deadline with bloat, brittle work, or a scramble that teaches your brain the wrong lesson. Let's name the big 3 control behaviors so you can spot them fast. Perfection loops. You cycle the shiniest 5% title, opener, fonts because polishing feels safer than deciding. Avoidance rituals. You reorganize Notion, open 10 tabs, or quickly research edge cases. Boundary leaks. You accept extra scope, say yes to last-minute add-ons, or agree to one more revision to prove you've got it handled. All 3 share one signature. Tasks grow, time shrinks, standards inflate. If that trio is showing up, you're tightening a wrench until the bolt strips. More torque, less hold. Why this feels productive. Control behaviors deliver immediate relief. Relief feels like progress, so your brain mislabels soothing as shipping. That's the trap. You're busy without moving the stage. The fix isn't to feel different, it's to remove places your brain can expand. Constrain one dimension, time, scope, or visibility, so output beats anxiety. Time constraint. Set a 5-minute hard edge with a real bell. In those 5 minutes, you must advance the stage. 3 bullets that state the claim, 1 ugly paragraph, or a slide skeleton with headers only. Use D3 to keep it honest, decide the single decision, draft 3 bullets, deliver to the real doc, and add V1. When the timer rings, hands up. If you want more, schedule V2. Stopping is the win. It prevents the loop from becoming a lifestyle. Scope constraint. Define ingredients before you cook. 3 bullets, 1 chart, 2 examples, 1 verb for the recommendation. If a 4th bullet tries to sneak in, delete 1 first. The trade forces priority and kills just in case. Pair this with the 3-1 rule, 3 bullets, 1 chart, 0 new research until V1 ships. You're not lowering quality, you're sequencing it. Visibility constraint. Lower exposure without losing motion. Draft in plain text before slides. Record a scratch audio before filming. Work in an unshared doc for 10 minutes. Visibility is gasoline for protection. Dim the spotlight and the urge to perform eases. Same progress, less theater. Now gate the order so polish can't jump the line. 2 gates taped to your monitor. Gate 1, clarity claim chosen, 3 supports written. Gate 2, polish, phrasing, and visuals only after Gate 1 is checked. If Gate 1 isn't checked, your hands literally don't have permission to touch fonts, colors, or transitions. Sequence replaces willpower. You don't resist perfection, you outrank it. Language steers behavior. Swap make it perfect for make it legible. Swap prove value for show the next step. Swap cover every scenario for cover the most likely. Those lines signal to your nervous system that progress is the game now. A quick micro case. A lead kept rewriting the headline of the Why Now slide. 30 minutes, 7 versions, no decision. We installed a scope box and gate, 3 bullets only, 1 line each, no visuals until Gate 1 is checked. In 12 minutes, they wrote the bullets, read them out loud, tightened 1 verb, and moved on. Later, they added 1 chart, but only after clarity passed. Launch shipped on time because expansion had nowhere to go. Live script for when your hands drift to just tightness. Pause, 1 physiological sigh, permission line, progress beats protection for 10 minutes. 5-minute bell on. D3, decide the single decision, draft 3 bullets, deliver to the real doc, V1 label. If your brain screams, "It's not good," answer, "It's good enough to improve." Improvement requires existence. Common mistakes that keep beat 3 sticky. Moving goalposts, you meet the rule, then add 1 more. Don't. Meet the rule, stop, schedule V2. Soft timers. About 5 minutes means loop permission. Use an audible bell. Mixing visibility with performance, working in slides invites polish. Start ugly, then surface. And scope mercy, saying yes to extras without a trade. Use the trade line, happy to add, what should we remove? Use the V1, V2, V3 rule to keep standards high without feeding perfection. V1 exists to see the shape. V2 is for clarity, remove confusion, add the one missing piece. V3 is for polish, phrasing, visuals, micro edits. You can't skip versions and you can't do V3 before V2. This turns perfect into sequence, not pressure. Team context, make the constraint shared. Set deck caps up front, limit reviewers by lane, 1 for structure, 1 for style, and set windows. Report lead metrics in stand-ups, V1s shipped, decisions made, so the scoreboard rewards progress, not polish. If you remember nothing else about Beat 3, remember this: control behaviors trade short-term relief for long-term risk. Constrain time, scope, or visibility so decisions can't sprawl. Gate clarity before polish. Name it V1 so your brain stops demanding final on the first pass. Do that, and the wrench stops before the bolt strips. The 4-beat loop, Beat 4, shame and overcompensation. Beat 4 is shame, the moment a miss stops being an event and becomes a verdict about you. Not that went wrong, but I'm wrong. Your chest drops, you replay the moment, and your brain reaches for punishment. An all-nighter, a dramatic promise, or a grand fix. That's overcompensation. It buys relief, looks impressive, and quietly cements the loop. I only deliver under pressure. Let's separate signal from story. The signal is neutral. A handoff slipped, a draft confused the team, a reply lagged. The story is global. I'm sloppy, I can't be trusted. Global stories kill learning. When identity is on trial, you don't run a post-mortem, you run self-defense. No system gets upgraded when the operator, S in the dock. We're going to replace self-trial with a 2-part recovery that builds trust instead of debt. A neutral recorder and 1 protective change. Neutral recorder means 2 lines, facts only, like a flight log. Who did what when with what tool in what order. No adjectives, no motives, no character claims. Then a single protective change that would have reduced the chance or cost of that miss next time. A constraint, a gate, a checklist, a visibility tweak, or a tiny buffer. 1 hinge, not 5. You're proving to your nervous system that misses trigger upgrades, not punishment. Make it concrete. You send a muddled draft that scatters feedback. Shame rushes in, they think I'm careless. Recorder, shared at 4:52 p.m. without 3-bullet summary, reviewers gave mixed notes. Protective change, install a gate at the top of the doc, summary, claim +3 supports required before share, and add it to your template. Next pass, you check the gate first, share second. Confusion drops, and so does the urge to sprint. Another, you miss an investor reply, panic, and draft a 2 a.m. manifesto. Instead, recorder, email flagged, no same-day triage, no 2-minute placeholder rule. Protective change, 2-minute reply placeholder, acknowledge receipt and set a time for a full response, plus a 15-minute daily triage block. Overcompensation would have looked heroic. The system upgrade prevents the fire next time. Hear why this works. Shame globalizes, which floods threat circuits and downshifts planning. As shame researcher Brené Brown's work shows, shame turns a single miss into I'm the problem, which kills learning and stalls repair. A neutral recorder reduces threat by moving you into specificity, time, sequence, tool. Specificity recruits the prefrontal cortex. 1 protective change restores agency and narrows focus. You're not fixing you, you're fixing the environment the work lives in. That's how self-trust grows without theatrics. Common mistakes at Beat 4, collapsing timelines, trying to fix everything today. Use the 24-hour slow-down rule for big shifts. Expanding scope as penance, promising extras to pay off the feeling. That's debt, not repair. Seeking vague reassurance, is this okay now? If you need feedback, define lanes and timing. Clarity now, polish later, 2 reviewers, 24-hour window. Language swaps help you step out of the courtroom. From what's wrong with me to where did the system wobble, from I blew it to a miss happened at the gate/handoff step, from I'll make up for it to I'll install one protective change. And anchor identity to behavior you can prove. I ship and learn paired with a 2-minute promise kept today. Add the done despite ritual to close the loop. After the recorder and the protective change, ship one tiny step now, 3 bullets, V1 label or a scheduled self-send, and log it in your ledger. Kept 2-minute promise, use the gate. You're wiring action after upgrade into your nervous system. Completion equals safety again. You might worry this looks like you're not taking it seriously. Take it seriously by installing changes others can see. Share the protective change with your team. Added a 3-bullet summary gate before share. You'll see it in the template. That's accountability without drama. It lowers exposure threat for everyone and turns a personal miss into a process win. Watch for the overcompensation tell, dramatic swings. If you went from avoidant to heroic inside an hour, you're paying shame, not solving the problem. Let the fix be boring. Boring scales. Boring keeps you in range. Boring becomes automatic. Run the Beat 4 script with me right now on your last wobble. 2-line recorder, facts only, 1 protective change, constraint, gate, checklist, buffer, or visibility floor. 1 tiny ship, 2-minute step you can finish now. 1 identity deposit, tick your ledger and say, I ship and learn. That's the entire move. A short micro story to land it. A team kept making up for late decks with late-night marathons. We killed the theater and installed 3 guardrails, a 10-slide cap with a 2-slide appendix, a clarity before polish gate at the top of every deck, and a trade or no line for scope requests. Within 2 weeks, handoffs stabilized and reviews shortened by a third. No speeches, just neutral recorders, protective changes, and small ships on schedule. If you remember nothing else about Beat 4, remember this. Shame globalizes, learning localizes. Localize the miss with a neutral recorder. Install 1 protective change. Ship 1 tiny next step to reset momentum. Do it quietly and repeatedly. That's how you break the sprint and crash habit and build a reputation, especially with yourself, for steady, boring excellence. Tools that break the cycle, overview plus selection. You've mapped the loop and practiced intercepting each beat. Now we'll load a small set of tools that work under pressure without turning into another project. Principle 1, reduce threat so your planning brain stays online. Principle 2, increase agency with tiny, visible moves. Principle 3, anchor your identity to process so praise and misses stop swinging your state. We'll organize your kit by what it changes. Somatic resets downshift arousal fast so you can think. Decision constraints shrink options so perfection loops can't expand. Identity reframes tie worth to kept promises and reps shipped, not applause. Feedback hygiene narrows who speaks, what they speak about, and when, so input strengthens decisions instead of spiking exposure. Here's the deployment rule: 1 tool per beat, 2 minutes or less. Beat 1, trigger. Sigh once, run the 3 ends, name, normalize, narrow, and take 1 visible micro step. Beat 2, threat mode. Pair a quick breath with a 5-minute 5-3-1 box and D3, decide, draft, deliver. Beat 3, control behaviors. Constrain time, scope, or visibility and enforce gates, clarity before polish. Beat 4, shame. Run a neutral 2-line recorder, install 1 protective change, ship a tiny next step, tick your ledger. You'll end this part with a 4-piece pocket system you can run in under 3 minutes total. 1 breath script, 1 constraint rule, 1 identity line with a 2-minute promise, and 1 share template with lanes and windows. Everything else is optional. If a tool takes more than a minute to start, it's too heavy for a spike. Save it for pre-briefs or recovery. Why this order? Because body leads, structure guides, identity sticks, and lanes protect. When arousal drops a notch, your prefrontal cortex can plan. When decisions are boxed, threat mode follows rules that ship. When identity equals I ship and learn, wins feel safer and misses become upgrades. When feedback runs in lanes, you stop performing and start deciding. We'll start where you get the fastest leverage: your body. A single breath can buy just enough cognitive airtime to choose a better move. Then constraints take over and do the heavy lifting, so you do white-knuckle your way through every spike. Tool 1, Somatic resets that downshift threat. When the alarm chirps, the body moves first and the mind explains after. So the quickest lever you have is physiology. We're not chasing bliss. We're dropping your arousal by 1 or 2 notches so the thinking brain gets the wheel back. The anchor move is the physiological sigh. 2 inhales through the nose back to back, second one smaller, then a long, complete exhale through the mouth. Do it once or twice. Stanford's 2023 findings on cyclic sighing show it reliably reduces arousal quickly, often faster than other breath protocols, because that second inhale reinflates tiny air sacs and the long exhale dumps CO2. You'll feel a subtle softening across your chest and jaw inside 15 seconds. Use it right before high-stakes sends or the moment praise flips to don't blow it. Your second tool is box breathing. Inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4, 1 to 2 rounds. It stabilizes your pace by gently recruiting your parasympathetic system. Use it mid-meeting, on a live call, or while you're listening to feedback and feel your heart rate jump. Think of it like a metronome for your nervous system. 1 square is enough to take the edge off. Add a fast movement discharge if breath alone doesn't land. 20 bodyweight squats, 3 slow wall push-ups, or a brisk 30-second walk. You're metabolizing the adrenaline so it stops looking for control tasks to chew on. Keep it under a minute so it doesn't become avoidance. Movement is a valve, don't turn it into a detour. Cold cues help when the spike feels sticky. A quick splash of cool water on your face, a small desk fan aimed at the cheeks and around the eyes, or a cool pack against the upper neck for 20 seconds. Those areas tap reflexes that nudge your system toward calm. It's not an ice bath, it's a tiny nudge you can do between keystrokes. Pair physiology with precise labeling to recruit cognition. While you breathe, name 2 sensations and 1 urge. Warm face, tight throat, urge to check Slack. That's enough specificity to wake up the prefrontal cortex without dragging you into a story. Then drop your permission line. For the next 10 minutes, progress beats protection. The line matters because threat mode loves rules. Give it a rule that keeps you moving. Here's a 60-second protocol you can tape to your monitor, 10, 20, 30. 10 seconds, 1 physiological sigh. 20 seconds, 1 round of box breathing. 30 seconds, 3 slow shoulder rolls, jaw unclench, and 3 long exhales. That's 1 minute total. Then immediately set a 5-minute bell and run D3, decide, draft, deliver. Breath buys airtime, structure spends it well. A quick micro scenario. You're about to hit send on a memo and your pulse jumps. 1 physiological sigh, 1 tagline, tight chest, urge to add bullets, make it airtight, permission line, 5-minute bell. Choose the recommendation verb, write 3 bullets, paste, add V1 to the title. The spike might not vanish, but it's quieter and the stage advanced. Another, you're in a live review and get vague feedback. Under the table, 1 box breath. Then ask, are we optimizing for clarity or polish right now? That single lane question, asked from a steadier body, prevents the call from turning into performance. You just used physiology to earn a cleaner decision. Common mistakes with somatic resets. Skipping them because no time. If you don't have 20 seconds for 1 sigh, you don't have time for a 2-hour loop. Overdoing it is another trap. 5 minutes of breath in a send window can become avoidance. Cap resets at 60 seconds unless it's a scheduled recovery. And don't moralize the spike. It's biology. Name it, nudge it, move. Make your desk do some work. Build a reset kit. A sticky with the 3 ends, your permission line, and D3, a 1-minute timer shortcut on your phone or desktop, a small fan or cool pack, and a card that says, sigh times 2 right arrow box times 1 right arrow 3 bullets. The idea is that your hands reach for the kit, not your phone. Where does this plug into the beats? Beat 1, trigger. 1 sigh buys space for name, normalize narrow. Beat 2, threat mode. 1 breath before a 5-minute 5-3-1 box keeps you from flooding. Beat 3, control behaviors. A 10-second exhale before setting a scope cap or visibility floor. Beat 4, shame. 1 sigh before the neutral recorder so you don't feed the courtroom. 2 upgrades to make the resets land faster. Add a gaze shift, soften your eyes and widen your visual field for 5 seconds. Narrow vision maps to threat, broad vision cues safety. And adjust posture, unlock your jaw, drop your shoulders, uncurl your toes. Tiny mechanical changes tell your nervous system it can stand down a notch. If you remember nothing else here, remember this pairing. Body first, then box the decision. 1 sigh or 1 square buys you enough prefrontal to choose a better next move. Then a 5-minute D3 locks it in so protection has nowhere to expand. Breath doesn't replace action. It makes action possible when it counts. Tool 2, decision constraints that kill perfection loops. Now that your body is in range, we're going to box the work so perfection has nowhere to expand. Unlimited options fuel control theater. Constraints force movement. Think bumpers in a bowling lane. Your ball still rolls, just not into the gutter of one more tweak. Start with a real-time box. 5 minutes, visible bell, hard stop. In that window, you must advance the stage. 3 bullets that state the claim, 1 ugly paragraph, or a slide skeleton with headers only. No wandering, no quick research. Pair it with your permission line. Progress beats protection for 10 minutes, so your nervous system knows the rules. The bell isn't punishment. It's a promise that the pressure ends soon. Next, scope boxes. Define the ingredients before you cook. 3 bullets, 1 chart, 2 examples, 1 verb for the recommendation. If you want a 4th bullet, delete 1 first. That trade forces priority and kills just in case. Use the 3-1 rule for early drafts. 3 bullets, 1 chart, 0 new research until V1 ships. You're not lowering standards, you're sequencing them. Versioning turns perfect into order. V1 exists to see the shape. V2 is clarity, remove confusion, add the one missing piece. V3 is polish, phrasing, visuals, micro-edits. You cannot skip versions, and you can't touch V3 until V2 is checked. Rename files accordingly. V1, V2, V3. Your brain relaxes when the path is visible. Add 2 gates and tape them at the top of every working doc. Gate 1, clarity, claim chosen, 3 supports written. Gate 2, polish, touch, phrasing, or visuals only after Gate 1. If Gate 1 isn't checked, fonts and colors are off limits. Sequence removes willpower. You simply follow the order. Here's the core microframe that makes constraints effortless. D3, decide, draft, deliver. Decide the single decision this block will make, not a topic to explore. Pick the opening claim, not think about the intro.